Welcome to Mueller Time. This is episode 20.
We're up to 20. Wow.
Wow.
All right.
That's why I'm playing this theme music. And I swear I am still working on our theme, and I will be finished with it at some point. But I think at 20, 20 is pretty cool, man.
Wow. Yeah, that's 20.
I mean, we tried this before with a different podcast. We made a few changes, and now we've done 20, and that feels good.
Yeah.
Like I said on pretty much every episode, we are trying to do everything we can, and that's what this podcast is part of. So, what kind of insanity do we start with right now?
I apologize to everybody for not being here last week, but I'm back now.
Oh no!
And I don't even know where to start. We've been right this whole time. We've been taken over by the Russians.
Right. And my friend Izzy filled in. She's a comedian, and like us, sometime I'll have all of us on together.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You're right, and that's what I was trying to explain to people. What we've been trying to explain for over 2 years. We might as well. Hey, you can't talk enough about what happened in Helsinki, so fuck it, let's do it again.
Well, okay.
I mean, you saw it.
Well, yeah. We saw some of it. We didn't see the actual real meeting.
I was going to bring this up at the end. I'm just going to bring it up real quick.
Okay.
No, you know what? No, that's out of order. Let's do Helsinki. Right. What more evidence do you need, folks?
No,
And now he's been invited to the White House.
Well, you know what? The invite was already there, but he has invited him in the past. I don't know who retweeted an old one, but now that this new invitation is there to right in the middle of the midterm election run, come on, that's
actually I want to rephrase that. How do we know that he invited him? How do we know that it wasn't the opposite?
When did the quote come out? Well, no. Did you saw the awesome interview Andrea Mitchell was doing at some symposium where she had Coates, Dan Coates, right there on stage, and she got the breaking news while she was doing this interview in front of a live audience. And yeah,
Coates totally punked him in that one. That was totally intentional. And now that was weird. And then Coates is the one who has to apologize when in a normal administration, Trump would be apologizing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, normal administration being the key operative phrase.
Right. He didn't, by the way, look, I'll just be even more explicit. He didn't invite him. Putin told him, I'm coming to the White House. Everybody knows that, right? That's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's right before the midterms. This is the most important election in American history. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. Except for what happened in 2016.
Well, yeah. Everyone is always the most important election. It's always more important than the last one.
Trump and all them are going to do anything they can because once they lose control, by the way, I just saw a list of who's going to take control of the House when, I'm not saying if, when we win. It was like, it's Trump's worst nightmare. Adam Schiff, our congressman, will be head of the Intelligence Committee. Then they were talking about all these people they're going to add, like Ted Lieu.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Because we did this in 2016, talking about all the things that's going to happen after Hillary wins. So, yeah, don't count the chickens right now.
Wait, I never said anything about Hillary.
Well, no, but you hear the point I'm trying to make.
We are going to win this thing.
Okay, yes.
Seriously, we got it. Trust me. Because the things that happened in that election were a little smarter.
I've lost faith, Eric. I think I've lost faith. Yes, we're going to win. Yes, there's enough votes out there for all the crazy Republicans to go away, but that doesn't matter anymore after what happened in 2016.
Well, by the way, in 2016, I never thought that thing was in the bag by any means. I didn't. I never did. I was always, the first time I saw one of those Trump rallies, I was like, we got a problem.
Okay, well, but since the Helsinki summit in the last week and a half, I know we've joked about how I'm the Alex Jones of this show, but we really have been taken over by Russia.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't discussed the hot redhead Russian spy that got caught.
Maria Bettina,
yeah. Now, she got the NRA. The NRA is Russian propaganda.
Right. Since that happened, we've every day there's more photos coming out of Maria Bettina with the head of the NRA, very famous politicians, various right-wing grifters. Mm-hmm. They've all traveled there. So that, and some people are saying it might be true, that will be even a bigger scandal.
Well, look, if the NRA is just a front for Russian propaganda,
right?
Yeah, I would love to see the NRA be taken down because of that.
They haven't said a word
No,
about
they've
this.
been very quiet about
Nothing.
it. Nothing.
It's very clear this is why so many Republicans are in there. It's not just Trump or their base, why they're in this thing 100%. This thing is just exploding, and it's going to take all of them down. If you take the NRA down, you just took down the whole Republican Party.
Well, the NRA has basically funded the entire Republican Party for the last, decade at least?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very clear that what happened in 2016, among many things, the Russians used the NRA to launder the money that they wanted to give to Trump. They may have used other ways, but that was at least $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent it through. Obviously, they have this Maria Bettina, and who God knows which other spies.
Yeah, that's the one they caught this week.
Yeah. By the way, if
Or
I
last
mean,
week.
you look at these. Yeah, no, it's fine. You look at these photographs of her with these rubes. It's just like what did you Wayne LaPierre? You're like, really, Mr. like 65-year-old old ugly white man? You thought this woman? She's into guns. That's why she's posing with you.
Come on, how about Sheriff Clark?
David A. Clark, a right-wing terrorist.
Well,
one of the worst.
He's one of the big reasons that she was able to be caught. He had expenses from the trip that he took to Moscow on the Moscow version of the NRA. What do they call her group? The Right to Bear Arms in Russia. Yeah, she had her little Russian NRA. There are no gun rights in Russia, and there is no gun movement in Russia the way there is here. It was a full-on front. But David Clark went to this trip that was funded by these Russians to Moscow, and he reported some of his expenses back here in the States, and that's how we know for a fact that he went on this trip.
By the way, if you do want a good laugh for about a half hour, just Google David A. Clark Jr. He's a right-wing terrorist who somehow was once a police chief. His jails were, basically this guy, he would have been indicted now if it wasn't for Trump. Mm-hmm. People have died in his jails. They've died of dehydration.
That dude's going to go to jail.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He also is a fraud who made up a fake PhD. Like, he got a PhD from one of those, like he copied, apparently, his whole thesis. Just, pulled the shit off the internet.
Have you ever Googled his medals? Sheriff Clark's medals? And how he's got a zillion medals all over whatever he wears whenever you see him on TV. Most of them are fake.
Yeah, he's a nut. Well, you know that the main photo, though, R. Schooley, our favorite Twitter person, he tweaked one of those photos, which is now that's his biggest, R. Schooley's biggest meme. Oh, okay. People keep it lives forever on the internet. People don't know that he made up all these medals. There's he put Disney medals on there.
Okay.
Anyway, so, yeah, right.
Well, no, so the point I was trying to get back to here, Russia has really shaped right-wing politics in America.
Right.
And the right wing's okay with that.
How long has this been going on? We're just finding out about it now.
We are just finding out about it now. And I'm curious. Now, you saw the photo of Scott Walker with Maria Bettina?
I've seen them all. Bobby Jindal.
All right. Well, did Russia have a hand in all the anti-union busting that went on in Wisconsin a few years back?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Literally, this woman, it's like that Woody Allen movie, Zelig. She's just popping up in every... And I see why these guys are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell these guys are going to bed at night thinking, was I or even something worse, because apparently she's old school Russian spy, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. She used everything at her disposal.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Yeah, we know at least this one guy, his name's... So I guess she... so great.
You think Sheriff Clark got some?
I think she's a professional.
Well, yeah, she is.
And I have to, in the way I hand it to her, hanging out with those guys, and I'm using that in the loosest possible term, that's really taking one for the team, Russia being the team.
Yeah, she's a good Russian, she is.
I read that, so apparently she cohabitated with this right-wing grifter named Paul Erickson. Mm-hmm. And so this guy apparently is basically a con man. I was reading about him.
Oh, yeah, he obviously was targeted.
And I read that she was complaining. There's something where she was complaining to Torsion, her boss, I really don't like.
Yeah, well, that's your gig, girl.
Yeah, that's
what you signed up for.
Yeah, what did they call that again? When you there's a name for that when a spy uses that as their weapon.
I don't know that term.
I can't even remember.
I can think of a whole bunch of real sexist terms to describe what she's doing, but I'm not going to do that here on the Mueller Time podcast.
Well, she's damn good at her job, though.
Yeah. Well, not so good. She's now behind bars.
Well,
and she has another hearing on Wednesday.
But here's the thing. If Trump hadn't won, would anyone even know about her? She's clearly been arrested because the Mueller investigation, they got wise to it, as far as we know.
All right, but if she really has that much of an influence over the NRA, as the news reports are making it out to be, the NRA has to disband.
Yeah. Well, the NRA, people don't realize too, the NRA has 3 million members. There's 350 million people in this country, but they act like they have 350 million members.
Well, they have a whole bunch of politicians as members, so that's all they need.
Right. They represent corporate interests. They don't give a shit about their members.
No, they don't.
They're really they're a mirror image of the Republican Party. A powerful group, but controlled by a small amount of extremists.
Well, but we're now learning that they might be controlled by a foreign entity.
Yeah. They're losing it right now.
All right, so whenever I'm on here, I always take a moment to go beat up on Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire.
Always.
If you paid attention to the very little coverage they've given to alleged Russian spy, the arrested Maria Bettina, not once in any of the 2 articles that Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire has posted does it mention the NRA connections or then CPAC, which the Conservative Political Action. So it's a big political right-wing convention that happens every year. And Maria Bettina has strong ties and has funneled money into both of those organizations, both of which are close. Like Ben Shapiro would call himself an ally of the NRA and of CPAC. Not once did they mention any of the allegations in Ben Shapiro's website.
Well, I think we can take an educated guess. If they're funneling money everywhere, his website is big enough where I'm sure that the Russians know what he is, and his funding is secret. So maybe they gave him money.
Maybe.
Or maybe he's just a smart guy who knows how bad it is, what's going on.
Well, the past week I've just gotten even more depressed over this entire situation, seeing how much influence Russia really has. Now, at times I've wondered, am I being crazy, or are we being taken over by Russians? I've been thinking that, since the rise of Trump and Russia, if you're listening, since that happened. And, well, no, I'm not crazy.
No, I mean, I don't necessarily.
It's real and it's frightening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're being taken over by Russians necessarily, but shoot, what's going on? I'm not doing that, dude.
Oh no, what happened?
That just came out of.
Wow, they're hijacking our recording. We're not even live yet.
Yeah, guy. I was talking to a friend of mine who was like, if you do, he listened to the show. He's like, man, this is great. He's like, hey, I think right now there's probably someone listening to you guys at the CIA. And I was like, maybe in a couple episodes. I don't know if I'm quite there yet. I don't think I'll be going to Russia anytime soon.
Well, no, neither will I. But yeah,
and I wouldn't have gone there anyway, based on principle.
Now, if things don't go the way that we would like them to go on the first Tuesday of this November, we might have to worry about the Russians coming here and not us going to Russia.
Yeah. It's going to be a new. I had this great clip, but I can't find it now. I got to get faster at this thing. It's hard the way I have them grouped up because
Eric is going through his highly advanced technological tool that runs this podcast.
Oh, so good too. All right, I'm not gonna keep doing that. Yeah. So speaking of that, you talk about a takeover. Did you read about Radio Free Europe?
I think I did, but please remind me and all of our listeners.
Yeah. So remember when I went to that protest and I got interviewed by?
Yes, I remember you told me the story.
And you were joking like Trump's taking over.
Wait, no, you told me you were interviewed by Voice of America.
Right.
Yes.
Now right. They're a different group, but same thing. U.S. funded propaganda.
Basically, yes.
Right.
Yeah. And
we were joking about that, and I was like, no, and blah blah. So according to I read in the New York Times. There's no words. Radio Free Europe, which is a a taxpayer-funded propaganda outlet that's supposed to promote the U.S. interests around the world. They have been flooding Facebook with Russian ads that promote the Russian point of view at us.
Okay, I didn't hear this story.
Yep, New York Times. Once they caught them, the ads disappeared.
Okay, how did the Russian ads get on U.S. propaganda?
Great question. No one. The article didn't make clear who bought the ads, who created them, who targeted them. In other words, to make it simple, they're doing a mirror image of what happened in the election, but this is a U.S. institution. What is going on here? I saw they had a picture of one or two of the ads. One was an anti-NATO thing, which is Russia's biggest, one of their biggest positions,
Yes.
and I forget the other one.
Okay.
But it was exactly what you said. I was like, yeah, this is happening. It's not a joke. It's not Red Dawn yet. It's not guys coming out of the sky, and everyone jokes about it. But what do you think this is, man?
Well, ask that question again on the first Wednesday this November.
Yeah. Oh, I found the clip.
Okay.
This is to help any of you guys out if things do go bad.
Welcome to the Travel Linguist. This is Russian 101. Common phrases.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's in case we need.
No, it's coming, isn't it?
We might have to learn.
This is level 1. Each language has 3 levels.
Okay, I'm going to say "niet" to that soundbite again, please.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though, man. I just love that we can do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's only Monday. I haven't said that in a few podcasts, but
Trump is going to nuke Iran.
yeah,
That was awesome.
in all caps. He's going to nuke him in all caps.
It's like late at night, you're chilling, you're doing whatever, and all of a sudden the you see your phone light up. What's going on? Something's going on, and of course it's him again.
Okay, I have a question. So
Yeah.
Trump wants to be buddies with Putin. Trump wants to be buddies with Kim Jong-un.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he want to be buddies with the president of Iran? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh man, I'm blanking.
What could it be?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. I mean,
Maybe-
even Kim Jong-un's not Muslim, so that explains why Trump wants to be friends with him. Why? Well, Iran's just as evil as any other country on the planet, but Trump doesn't want to be friends with them. He wants to nuke them out of whatever.
It was weird
Nuke
because
them off the map.
Iran's playbook is to say, I mean, for many, many years, we're going to nuke the United States. That's every day there, man. That's just what the leadership there does.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get, it's not that you don't take it seriously, but when that happened, I was like, why is he, did Fox News play something?
Oh, he needed a huge distraction.
Right. But how did he find out about that? Because I know he doesn't read the newspaper. Oh, by the way, here's the best part. Do you know Twitter has been blocked in Iran for about 10 years?
That's right. He couldn't even see the president of
Right.
Iran can't even see the tweet.
Like, I'm sure the leadership there can access the internet, but that's just hilarious to me. It's like screaming into a void.
Oh, and then today, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, or as you like to call her,
Fuckabee.
yes, at
Sanders.
the White House press briefing today, names off 6 former Obama White House officials that are going to have their security clearances revoked, and then some of them don't even have security clearances anymore already.
Right. So Stable Genius 1 and 2 failed to understand that James Comey no longer has a clearance. Neither does the Andrew McCabe. The other ones I'm not sure about.
Who was it? Susan Rice, and then there's 3 more that we're forgetting.
Susan Rice. How far back are they gonna? What are we gonna yank the fucking the guy from the '60s next? Like, how far back do you want to go?
Yeah, well, now all the
Are we
Bill
gonna
Clinton's White House
Kissinger?
staff are all going to have their security clearances revoked.
Yeah, they're gonna go start revoking guys like Kissinger or whatever,
But Sergei Kislyak gets one whenever he comes to visit the White House, right?
and Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner, who should be locked up right now
Lock him up.
for lying on his security clearance form. Yeah, that was a strange thing, a little creepy that they did that. Again, you can't yank the clearance of someone who doesn't have it.
No.
But let's not tell them that.
Yeah, but that just gets back to another Trump White House tactic. Now, you and I read a lot of news, and we're on the internet all day long. The people that are fans of Trump, they don't know that Comey doesn't have a security clearance already. It's like, all right, Trump, yeah, get rid of those deep state operatives.
No, they don't.
No, but it's so he can lie to his people and get away with it.
They don't know anything. I mean, I was just talking to someone who doesn't like Trump, who agrees with us, and I was like, "Yeah, Paul Manafort's trial is starting next week," and he was like, "Who?" And I was like, "This is why we have a big problem in this country right now." And I get it. Look, not everyone's into this stuff, but you got to know, folks. You got to know what's going on. You don't have to know what happens on page 400 of, the Paul Manafort indictment, but you got to know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to.
Yeah. Now, you said his trial's starting this week. I don't know if you heard the news. Did you watch Rachel Maddow tonight?
I know it's been postponed.
Well, yeah, he and his lawyer asked to be postponed until November, and the judge shot it down and said, no, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
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 And then jury selection starts tomorrow.
Yeah. They don't, folks, they don't want this thing to go forever. They're not going to have it. This stuff has to proceed in a timely fashion. Plus, Paul Manafort has more than one trial that they need to get to.
That's true, yes. Apparently, he made his appearance in court today wearing a green jailhouse jumpsuit.
This is so amazing.
Yeah.
Let's just reiterate just for everybody. Paul Manafort is the campaign manager for the current president of the United States, who is on trial now for bank fraud, for failure to register as a foreign agent. The current president of the United States. Mm-hmm. By the way, but Barack Obama wore a tan suit. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this: when was the last time where a campaign manager for a current president was on trial?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened.
Never.
No,
it was never. Right.
Not even Nixon's.
No. Yeah, and it's like they're not even mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
Paul who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Manafort.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. No one knows why Manafort won't give up the goods. He's obviously facing the rest of his life in prison. Mm-hmm. People are saying, is it the Russians? Is it Trump?
Well, look, he owes money somewhere to somebody, and that's why he was in that job to begin with.
Yeah.
Because, he was not collecting a paycheck from the Trump campaign.
Right.
He
Yeah.
owed somebody else money.
So basically, right, he wanted something. I don't know what the deal is with Paul Manafort. It's not a pardon because even if he gets that, they can still get him on other state charges. There is something that's preventing Paul Manafort from doing what's obvious, and I can't figure it out.
It's Vladimir Putin.
You think that's what it is?
Absolutely is.
Just fear of just death or killing or his family.
Well, that's who his loyalty lies with.
I think maybe I think it's possible they threatened his family because I could see that.
Yeah.
Or he just knows by knowing who these people are that they would hurt his family. Yeah. I mean, obviously they'll poison people in parks. They can get to you. Yeah, they can get you anywhere.
Okay. How many times did Trump have to walk back what he said to Putin in the at the Helsinki press conference?
Well, I knew based on the Charlottesville thing, I knew his MO. So I knew that it was going to get him very upset. And I had predicted Wednesday. So on Wednesday, he did do something, but he didn't blow up till it was what?
No, it hasn't stopped, but yeah.
The day where he actually was just like, Russian didn't do anything. Like that came out.
Well, no. Well, there was the one pool spray in what is the conference room at the White House? What do they call that room? The cabinet room, I guess.
The Fuckabee living room.
No. Dude, did you just put a gross thought in my head? Oh my!
No, her name is Fuckabee.
Okay.
Sanders.
So, does Trump have the full faith in the findings of our Justice Department, or was it other people?
I said this on the last one. Mm-hmm. I just can't believe he hasn't figured out that if he wasn't such a dickhead, he could actually use our federal agencies. He could weaponize them like every other president against his enemies. But instead, he mocks them. Mm-hmm. Does he realize how powerful the FBI is?
No, I don't think he does.
No, he
doesn't.
He's too busy tuning into like Fox and Friends. Mm-hmm. He could use these people, a lot of whom clearly like him. Like
the Fox and Friends daily briefing.
I mean, imagine if this guy wasn't so stupid. That's the only thing keeping us afloat right now.
Yeah. His stupidity is going to be the downfall.
All right, so another stable genius, Michael Cohen, apparently recorded everything in his office, which is awesome.
No, wait, I was hearing earlier this evening there's 12 more tapes that they now have. We don't know the content of these tapes yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Giuliani tried to be like, they tried to play it smart, which is not a smart thing to do when you're not very smart. And they said it was okay. They gave permission to release the tape, which then makes them look even dumber.
No, one of the theories I heard on that was kind of to screw with Michael Cohen, because now Michael Cohen doesn't have that card to play to help himself.
Can you imagine what's on those tapes? I mean, that I guarantee you is probably keeping Trump up probably even more than Russia. I mean, that could be anything.
Yeah. Everything.
It could be everything.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of, look, I have an analogy for these people. This is who these people are. Do you ever hang out in a dive bar? I'm not talking to you, just in general. Any dive bar in any place in America, there's just bound to be at least a couple scumbags who are looking to get over on people. That's who they are. And they're in any city in America. That's who these guys are. The only difference with Trump was that he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. But he's just another low-life criminal that you can meet in any bar.
I've worked in those bars.
Yeah, no, you seriously, like, so you know. It's not a majority of the people. It's just there's that one or two people on the stools in the corner looking to get over. And I grew up in northern New Jersey, spent a fair amount of time in kind of blue-collar type of bars, and I've known people like that. I grew up with some people like that.
Sounds like you're trying very hard not to use the mafia word.
You know, I wasn't even thinking that, but it could have been subconscious.
Okay.
You know, I don't even think of them like that. You know who they would be? They wouldn't be the real mafia guys. They'd be those guys who want to be in the mafia. And that's literally who Cohen is. Those guys who are, I guess you would call them connected, but also the guys who can get thrown through a window just for like in The Departed, that one guy, he's like, that's not a guy you can't hit, but that's almost a guy you can't hit.
Okay.
That's who these guys are. So we'll be very interested.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Cohen, he's not taking that bullet for Trump anymore.
No, well, that's why he recorded everything. Yeah. I only want to spend 0.3 seconds on this,
Okay.
but because it's a complete fucking waste of time at Carter Page.
Oh, he might be worth a little more time than that.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a fascinating dude.
Carter Page is like one of the original, like, before Trump Russia, he was Trump Russia. Like he's been in this shit for a while.
Well, I think he's brilliant in some respects and just a huge idiot in other respects. I don't know exactly what he was doing for a living where he was able to go to Russia and talk about oil and stuff like that, but he got himself caught up with the kind of Russians that wanted to turn him into an asset.
Right.
And they did. And he doesn't really realize it. He goes on, he was on with Jake Tapper this past weekend on CNN. And the guy actually comes across as likable, but wow, he is just he was just a full-on Russian tool.
Oh, I think he's just an arrogant jackass. I look at him a little differently.
I don't know. Have you seen he did 2 different interviews with Chris Hayes on MSNBC. And Chris Hayes comes across as, wow, I genuinely like you, and I really hope the best for you. He's saying things like this to him at the end, knowing that, like, Carter Page is lying out of his teeth to try to make sure, like, he knows now he's in deep shit, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter Page is what they call a useful idiot. I mean, he's clearly a person who, they didn't have to sell him on spying for Russia. He genuinely loves Russia, you could tell.
Yeah.
Like, he loves it more than our country. Yeah. So they got his ass. And basically what happened with Carter Page, again, is that the Republicans released a FISA warrant because they want to, again, they're desperate. So the FISA warrant on Carter Page came out, which showed nothing. It just showed that the American government thought that there was a probable cause. They got 4 Republican judges to sign off on it, and that was that. Yeah. That's what happened there.
It's fake news. It's fake news.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's your 0.3 seconds. What's next?
So speaking of which, well, we're actually at 28 minutes. Believe it or not.
Wow, jeez.
Just want to thank all the people who are listening. We actually got an email all the way from a young man. You can send me a message if I pronounce it wrong, Khalid or Khaled, from Bangladesh, listening to Mueller Time.
Not only listening, he binged listened to every episode.
Thanks a lot, man. You've listened to more episodes than Chris.
Yes, you have.
Who's listening to zero episodes in Mueller Time.
Oh, it's a little higher than 0, but okay.
No, I mean, why? It's not like you have to listen to yourself. I mean, I have to listen to it.
Hey, let's talk about our listeners. I talk about myself on this show enough. How's that?
So what I want to say was, appreciate all you guys listening. If you could really do us a big favor, wherever you listen, if you could either write us a review or just click on the 5-star button, please. Yeah. The reason is the show's getting a lot bigger. We're starting to get a lot more trolling from Trump supporters, and some of them are now starting to click the 1-star thing. And I caught there were 3 nasty reviews on clearly from Trump supporters.
We're doing something right.
Right. So we do, if you could just help us combat that a little by clicking on that 5-star button.
Yeah. Oh wait, I saw a comment. Somebody said that we sound like we're dead or what was that? I come on, that dude's not listening.
Yeah, it was a woman, and she was like,
okay.
no, it was clearly a Trump supporter, and it was like, you guys should take uppers because you sound like you're dead.
Yeah, come on. I if anything, I don't sound like I'm dead on this show.
No,
Well,
it
I'm taking
wasn't. It
personally.
wasn't a good. No, and that's why I wasn't upset because I was like, that's not an accurate criticism.
No, it's not.
You could. There's many criticisms that you could come up with of this show, of any show, but that was clearly someone who was very angry.
All right. Well, we're attracting trolls. We're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And trolls, be warned. And I'm not speaking for Chris. I'm speaking for me. You better not troll from your own account with any public details, because you know what's going to happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you best hide behind a name, because we'll put your ass on blast.
Yeah, we have social networks and we will use them.
I'm not gonna call your boss or anything. I'm just going to read everything I see on your profile on this show that reaches thousands of people. So just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
All right. Well, find us on Facebook, Mueller Time Podcast on Facebook.
You can also follow me at Eric Levay, which is EricLevai.
And you can catch me on Twitter at Low Progressive.
Low progressive.
I only have like 5 followers. I need more.
We got to add them. No Russian bots, please.
Nobody's blocked at Low Progressive yet. That's why I'm using at Low Progressive.
I blocked you, but no one else blocked me. All right, guys. It's been another week in Trump's America. Oh, wait. No, one more thing. The family reunification deadline is Thursday. Yeah, I know. We don't want the story to die. So obviously he has kidnapped kids from their parents. They're not going to complete the deadline. We have to keep this story alive because it's maybe the most important thing.
Yeah, where are these children?
Yeah. And now they're saying many of the parents have been deported and they can't get them back. So they have kidnapped these kids. So let's stay focused and let's keep fighting for these kids. Seriously.
Thank you for listening.
We'll talk to you guys later.